Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie. In 1587, a group of English settlers led by John White arrived in the New World and built a settlement. But when White went on a 3-year supply trip, he returned to find the settlement completely deserted, and the colonists nowhere to be found. What happened to them? Where did they go? Let's explore. If you want more what if videos, check out our biggest what ifs playlist on the channel. Now get ready, it's time to ask the question, what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? As stated earlier, a group of English settlers landed on Roanoke Island in 1587 and built a settlement on the east coast of what would be North Carolina. In their time there, Virginia Dare was born, the first child of English parents to be born in the New World. After some time, John White returned to England in order to procure more supplies and gather more colonists to bring back. However, White's return was delayed when war began with Spain, so he wasn't able to get back to Roanoke Island until 3 years later. And much to his surprise and dismay, the settlement was completely deserted and looted with no signs of struggle. Nobody remained and very few clues were found as to what had happened. The only evidence found at the time was a carving of the word Croatoan. This was referred to a nearby island now called Hatteras Island, which was the home of a tribe allied to the English. There was also a second carving of CRO found on a tree, seemingly a second person's attempt at passing on a message. The fact that the second message was cut off would seem to imply that they were taken against their will. However, the colonists had been instructed to carve a Maltese cross if they had been forced to leave, and since no cross was found, it was believed to have been of their own volition. Sadly, the members of the colony were never found by their fellow Europeans, but evidence has continued to be presented that might help us to determine why they left and where they went. There are a number of reasons given for the unexpected departure from the settlement. Disease and famine would have been significant issues that would have put the safety of the colony at risk. It could be that the settlers overestimated their ability to obtain food and were unable to sustain themselves. This led to yet another problem because this lack of resources is believed to have caused them to begin stealing from nearby natives in order to survive. It's believed that the relations between the settlers and the local natives were not good, with a good deal of violence between them. It is not, however, believed that the natives directly caused the settlers to leave by force, but rather that the looming threat of retribution caused them to flee. So they seem to have left because they ran out of options. But where the heck did they go? The most widely accepted theory is that they left for Croatoan, to join the natives of the area. The tribe there was allied with the English, and that, combined with the markings left behind, seems to imply that it was the plan. Given the tension between them and the local natives, this might seem unlikely, but there are numerous reports of Europeans joining such tribes and falling in love with the laid-back lifestyle. Some believe that the colonists split up and went in different directions. This has become some artifacts were found both on Hatteras Island, which used to be Croatoan, and also in an area of the mainland 50 miles to the northwest. Objects such as a rapier handle, broken English bowls, and a piece of a writing tablet turned up, which are believed to date back to roughly the same time. This led some experts to believe that the colonists had split up, with only a portion going to Croatoan. The idea of the colonists joining the natives is further supported by the surprisingly large number of natives found with blue eyes, a trait that would have come from interbreeding with the Europeans. This is particularly common in tribes in the area, like the Lumbee, where blue eyes are relatively common, their names sound distinctly English, and even their accents sound somewhat different from others in North Carolina. One very exciting piece of evidence supporting the voyage to Croatoan has been the subject of some controversy recently. In 1998, excavators on the aforementioned Hatteras Island found a seemingly ancient ring that they believed to be made of gold, buried in the ground. It was believed that this ring could have been dropped by colonists on their way. However, recent analysis of the ring found that it seems to be made of brass from the early modern era. This, along with the fact that it was found with other artifacts from a century after the colonists would have been there, led researchers to believe that it was not in fact dropped by a colonist. Rather, it's believed to be a mass-produced trinket traded to the Native Americans. This doesn't discount the theory that they traveled to Croatoan, but it does largely eliminate the ring as a piece of evidence. At the end of the day, as with so many of these mysteries, we just don't know for sure what happened to these people. We're fairly sure that they had to leave the settlement to survive, likely realizing too late that they were ill-equipped to live there on their own. It's believed that they migrated either in one group or several smaller ones and found a home with the natives, likely on the island that would become Hatteras Island. There remain a number of other theories as well, but unfortunately, it happened so long ago that it's hard to find conclusive evidence one way or another. Should this interest you, there is a good deal of literature on the subject that can be perused online. Maybe you'll be the one to solve this mystery once and for all. Thank you for watching Life's Biggest Questions. I hope this was interesting and informative, and maybe even inspired you to look into it further on your own. If you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe to the channel down below. While you're down there, let me know what you think happened to the colony of Roanoke. Until next time, I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie with Life's Biggest Questions, wishing you the best of luck on your quest for answers.